Alright guys, welcome back to another breakdown. In the first video, we tore apart the outer shell of Alex's sphere, but the real magic, the part everybody keeps asking about, is what's happening inside the thing. So today, we're diving straight into the heart of the sphere, the glowing core, the metallic glass hybrid shell, and the crazy Dune-like style gold material. I'll walk through each material, each mask, each little detail, step by step, so you can understand exactly how Alex pulled this off, and how you can use these tricks in your own scene. My name is Patrick LeVar. I've been learning Blender Octane for the past 5 years and giving everything out for free, and I've also built one of the top Blender Octane communities online where you can join for free. Anyways, enough of the jibber jabber, let's get straight into the video. Alright, so let's break down this next material on this. We looked at the outer one on the first video. This one we're going to be looking at just this sphere here, and you can see we've got some like intricate detailing going on inside of this glass-like metallic sphere. On the inside, you've got this weird electronic light bulb core going on. Then we've got some really cool gold material here. Now we're going to break down each level. He's got 4 materials on here. So I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to go ahead and disconnect each one of these. And we're going to start with this first one. These little emission lights, dots that are going on here. And we've got a procedural node here, a stripes node. And if I solo that, you can clearly see they're just little black dots. If you grab the thickness, you can see you can even get lines out of that. It's a really cool node to take a look at. That goes into an emission node and then into the emission slot using a black body emission. And boom, that's what you get, these little black lights. The next material, emission number 1, I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. And that one, we're getting this core, these light bulby elements here. And again, take note on that this is actually geometry too, that's pulling that core in there. So that also helps sell the effect. And if we go ahead and fire that back up, come in here to the top level, we do see that this is a basic universal material with an emission on it coming into a black body with the Octane Cycles mix node, color mix node, into a chaos texture, into a tile pattern. So let's go to the start of it, which we've got this tile pattern. And you can see this tile pattern is making this kind of weird black and white mask. You can grab all of these and play with their settings. These are some of the basic nodes that come inside of Octane Blender. And in this case, he takes it and runs it through a chaos texture. Again, a chaos texture is something that's going to be used a lot in this scene. And it basically takes something that's got a lot of tiling going on. You use the chaos texture that will basically take that tile and kind of just mix it up. It's a very powerful node to use also. So if we see the effect that the chaos texture is doing, if I go and solo that, now you can see it's basically mixing it up. We can control a lot of values on that, and you've got a whole bunch of different types of settings in here. So if we come in next, that comes into a Cycles Octane mix node. And this is basically mimicking a color mix node that you guys use in Cycles, that we also have Octane version. And if we jump out and come in here and look at that, it's doing something a little bit weird. I'm going to disconnect A just so we can see what's happening first. So coming from the chaos texture, you can see here this value is white. After we look at it through here, this value turns black. And that was being mixed with another image node. He's got an image node here. Let's take a look here really quick at the map and show a quick preview. These like techno lines, these little circuit board line image, that comes into a color ramp to clamp those values a little bit more harder. And then again, here comes that chaos texture, mixes it all up, makes it chaotic, right? He pipes that into the color mix node. So if we go back to the color mix node, this is what we had, and we plug this back into the A, boom. That is basically like another subtraction mask. You notice here, before we do that, we have this black area right here, which is going to basically negatively pull that area out. See now, boom, we don't see it. Now again, if we can come in here and just change this to white, you can see what it looks like. But again, adding the black on it makes it that mask. So now we subtract that, just breaking up that repeating pattern, really just making it more even chaotic. Takes that, plugs that into an emission node set to 50 at a temperature of 2000. And then comes in here, and that is the result. That looks gorgeous, right? Just using mask, basic geometry, but look at the results. Absolutely looks complex. If you're interested in using Blender Octane, I've got a free community. Links down below. I'll see you on the inside. Now let's go into this next one. You've got this gold material, which kind of reminds me of something that I would see in the movie Dune. And if you look here, look how it plays with the light. That's absolutely fantastic. Look, we got this really nice material here. And we'll see how this is broken down. It looks like it's got a metallic feel to it. Well, if we come in here, we've got a universal material, and we do have something in the metallic slot that's giving us that metallic feel, and we do have something in the normal slot in the albedo. So this is a very simple setup. Let's go again. Let's look at the whole node. I'm going to go all the way back to the basic of it, the beginning of it. And we do have a curvature texture on this one here. If I go ahead and fire that up, in Timecodes you guys have an ambient inclusion node. Well, we have a dirt node, which kind of does that, but it gets in the crevices. Then we have a curvature texture node, which gets into the curves, and it can also flip and be into a concave. So this is something I would definitely advise you to play with in your free time. So if we look at this here again, we can control the strength on this. You can see what it's doing is it's making a mask, right? And then what will ultimately, he puts that into a gradient map to compress those values here. So we see we've got a nice little edge going on, making that black and white mask, which is going to be coming into another color mix node. And if we look at it through here, what he does is he's basically plugs it into the factor and then uses the A channel to add some color to it. So it's a black and white mask. Now we add the color to it, and there it is. Now we do have something that goes into the B. Let's back up to the B slot and look here at this image here. And this is a image, another image texture, basically just some lines, some type of textured line. You can see they're coming into this, which looks really nice, but they do have a blue tint. So he runs that through a gradient map, and that gradient map just gives it the color. We go back to our color mix node. This is what our color mix node was seeing, right? And we still had this black area here of the mask. Well, this gets pumped into that and replaces that. So now you've got this textured color thing, but it does not feel like it has any metallicness to it. So using this, just a basic gray value that's being used on this mask here to generate that metallic feel. So if we come back over here, let me disconnect that and go back, plug this back up. This is what it looks like with the full metallic, and then this plugs this into here for a little bit of an adjustment, which we can't even really notice the difference there. It's very subtle, but that gives it that metallic feel and just looks really good with these lines in there. So there is something plugged into the normal slot, just some type of value here. So that's not really doing too much, but it is in there. So that is basically this little gold metallic piece here. So now getting to the meat of the sphere. This one is very, very interesting. It feels like it's glass. It feels like it's metallic. What is it? I don't know. It's a combination of both. So if we break this down and look at this, let me go full screen for a moment because I want you to see something on this universal material. We do have something in the albedo slot. The metallic is set to 100% with the specular up. Roughness is all the way down. But if you look here, we've got this material layer. We can start to layer materials. So you can have a base universal material that's like a metallic material. And then with the material mixing layer system, you can mix in other materials into that same thing. So if we jump back over here and look, quickly, if I was to show you, if I click on material layer, it gives me this material layer group node to allow me to do multiple different types of things. If I click on one, you can see we can add another diffuse layer. We can add a, this is the layer group in which we're already using here. Then we can also add in a metallic layer, a sheen layer, a specular layer, and then we have a switch node. So in this case, he adds in another specular layer. And if we take that and jump back to our viewport, and if I plug that specular layer over the top of the material layer, boom, now it just gives us that glass, but it feels metallic. It looks pretty cool right now just as a full kind of metallic type thing, but this just adds another interesting look and feel to it. Look at that, that looks gorgeous. And this node here is basically a specular layer with the roughness kicked in a little bit with a 1.5 IOR. But how do we get these lines, in these emissive lines inside? Again, you're gonna see the pattern making mask. If I come over here, we've got a title pattern node. Click on that. This is the original pattern. We've got these big blocky lines. Again, this is a very cool node that allows you to just do some basic shapes here. It does other types of things like hexagonal, all kinds of stuff. Definitely check this node out. It's very cool. So let's go back to fancy tiles there. And then what he does is he takes that, there is the chaos texture again. Let's make it chaotic. Boom, we run that through the chaos texture. It mixes it up, breaks up the pattern, kind of gives it some randomness. And then from there, let me go ahead and disconnect that. It comes into a color mix node, which basically kind of does that same thing. He plugs it into the factor. Got our white values and our black values kind of almost flipped. But there was a second slot that goes into A. Now in our next bottom material, this one is another image node. So if I click on that, there is that same techno lines, basically circuit board material being used again, and that's going through a gradient map just to clamp those values there, make it pop a little bit more. And then again, it goes through a chaos texture, really makes it look like way more complicated or chaotic. Then this is what we had here, and then this gets piped into the A. So it should appear wherever the white's at. If that value is black, I'll just show you what it looks like if it's white. That's what it looks like when it's white. You switch it to black, it cuts it right out of the pattern. From there, so you got the details that he wants from the mask. Now we want to colorize the mask. And let me disconnect this A here, pop that over here. That should be the same thing, but we're giving it color. Plugging it into the factor, changing the color allows us to change it to whatever color we want to give it. Now you notice there was something plugged into the black. So let's come down here to that next layer, and it's another dirt texture. This is the dirt texture, just like I said earlier, where I was talking about the curvature texture node. This is the dirt texture node, which will be an ambient occlusion node for you guys in cycles, but this, I like ours better in the dirt. We got way more settings on it, and it's really powerful. So if I click on the dirt texture node, you see what it's doing. It's making an ambient occlusion like a feel. We're getting into the crevices. It has lots of settings on here. You can spend, I could do a whole video just on this node, which I probably will in the future. But we take that, we run it through the gradient, which he softens it up a little bit, kind of making it just ever so slightly there. And let's go ahead and disconnect B. Taking this mask, colorizing it. Okay, I just want to have it colored just on the where the white area appears. That's where the blue appears. And then taking this black area and utilizing that other mask that he used on the gold material. Here's that texture. That goes in through a gradient map. So this is what it looks like. It's just a little bit kind of darkening and clamping those values to isolate those blues. Well, that's going to get mixed in with this. So now we've got that wispy on top and that blue's there. And then this whole rig gets plugged into our main one up here at the top. And then we just go ahead and view that, and that should pop through. Boom. Now we have the blue on top with our original mask that we did here. He has that plugged into the albedo. Now, again, what he did was we took this original mask from right here, the little, techno lines here, the chip, motherboard chip, also takes that and runs that into an emission node, into the emission slot here to make those bright. So if I come back over here, if I go ahead and mute this, boom, that's what it looks like normally, just put in there. And then going through the emission node, boom, there it is. Some people might ask, why does this black body emission node look like this? If I come here and grab a black body emission node, right, and there it is fully lit. So let me go ahead and plug that back into there. If I take and only want to say, I want to use the texture slot, which he's doing here. If I click on this node and right click, I can go down to, where is it, show hide collapse all, and now it collapses it just to whatever's being used, and that's what that looks like. That is pretty much the same thing. So there it is. That's basically everything. This is plugged into the emission, and this is the look. It's like very simple but very powerful. Like, it's just basically black and white masks, giving them a little bit of color, and then putting them through the emission on things that you want to pop. So absolutely fantastic. I hope this breakdown really shows you guys the power of making these little small masks and just using basic procedural noises and textures inside of Octane. And basically this can be done inside of anything, cycles, wherever you can make a black and white mask. This is some of the benefits that you can use. All right, that's a wrap up of the inner core breakdown. If you came into this video first, make sure you go back and watch part 1. In that video, we break down the entire outer shell, the mask, and the emission and the hieroglyphics, everything that sets the foundation for this video that you saw today. It'll make this breakdown video way more sense, and you'll understand that both parts actually work together. So tap the link on screen, continue to part 1, and I'll see you over there.